The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 151. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon, this evening, this morning, however it is you're doing it. We do appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the Trail Master of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Jess is not here tonight. However, she might call in. I think she's got school or work or something like that.
I got a bad feeling about this.
But we wanted to make sure we could get a show in because it's been a minute and wanted to give you guys something. If this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. We hope you find the water to be warm. This is not, if you are a repeat offender, hey, welcome home. Mm-hmm. Tonight's show is brought to you by you guys, our Patreon listeners. We make it super simple for you. If you'd like to join in, support the cause here, go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, and we make it super simple, $5, $3, and $1. You can do a one-time payment or a recurring payment, and that goes basically goes to our hosting costs. And our yearly fee for that. Monthly fee and our yearly fee for the other stuff. That being said, hey, Ken, thank you so much for being the newest member of the Patreon.
Thank you.
The LTP family. Please message us either DM us or you can go through Patreon and send us your shirt size. I might have a shirt here already. Hopefully it's the right size. If not, we'll go ahead and get that ordered out for you. Mm-hmm. If you want to buy your own shirt, you can go to tpublic.com and go to Leaving Today Podcast. We have them there, or again on our website, we have them there as well. Also, Instagram is a great way to do that. We've got one of those fancy link trees that has all kinds of links to everything we do, Patreon, shirts, and everything else. Okay, what else? Hey, for those of you who joined us on our pre-show, that was very, very cool. I enjoy talking to you guys and gals. It's nice to talk a little Disneyland stuff and to catch up with you. So I'm glad you guys are doing all well. That spawned our opening question. We also had some other questions on Instagram earlier this week, so we're going to get to those. But the opening question came in from Fernando. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I should say something though. Tonight's show, we usually talk about what our future presentation is. So we have the news, and we're going to go through the some of the questions we had on Instagram. But we're going to talk about Disney as a company and their current state of what they're doing, their decision or indecision to get involved politically, and how that might be impacting our views. It's definitely impacting their stock, and it's how is they going to impact the content moving forward. Okay, so tonight's opening question came from Fernando, and he wanted to know what attraction would we want to have a crossover theme for, right? Mm-hmm. So we were going to mix mash two attractions, and his example was like a haunted jungle cruise. I thought that was a really cool question. Okay, so Udi usually goes first. Yeah, don't you?
Well, I think there are a couple. Mm-hmm. The Haunted Jungle Cruise, by far, is probably pretty good. I'm going to go with with Haunted being, again, one of my favorite.
Yeah.
You can't kind of run from that one. And that one can play into, gosh, so many, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with a Haunted. Wait for it. Pirates.
Ooh, a Haunted Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, you think about it, they both play pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They both play. I mean, and you know, maybe that's kind of cheating. You guys tell me if it is or it isn't, because you think about it, the first half of the attraction, you can say, is a haunted pirate thing anyway. So you got that, okay? Let me pick another one. How about?
I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
No.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was a dad joke.
Oh, yeah.
Total dad joke. Let me think of another one. We can do, trying to think of like one with Rise, but.
Well, something I saw a couple years ago was, and this is probably going to be my answer, is with the Haunted Mansion. But the Jungle Cruise skippers are your hosts, and they're going around talking about everything about the Haunted Mansion, guiding you through it, going on the dune buggies with you, pointing things out in their ridiculous banter. And the way they did it was so entertaining. I mean, it's like, why haven't they done this before? So I know that he sort of said, hey, about a Haunted Jungle Cruise. I'm talking about a Jungle Cruise experience with the skippers on the Haunted Mansion. Because I think they're some of the best. That's some of the best entertainment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I can't think of another good one.
You can't think of another one?
No.
Jungle Cruise skippers on It's a Small World. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun. But I don't know. I mean, they don't do like a haunted space mountain. It's Ghost Galaxy.
I mean, you get that already. We kind of have that already.
Yeah.
Trying to go into like
Fantasyland. It seems like Star Wars would have a lead. They would lend itself to something. But
kind of. I mean, you could do a haunted Rise, but it doesn't really work. Or
no,
that doesn't work.
It's got to be haunted, right?
No, I mean, it doesn't need to be. I'm actually trying to go across the Esplanade there.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that could be.
I mean, you think about the attractions that are really good out there.
Soaring over space?
That would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Soaring in space.
Soaring in space.
Or a...
Soaring in Wonderland?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Soaring over...
how about... No, or...
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Like Skull
No, we already got that. Over Skull Rock.
But the whole thing.
How about... No, see, we already had that. You go like haunted monsters, but or what you call it?
I don't know.
Guardians.
That was the time for you to come up with an answer, Rudy.
Okay, and I'm over. And then we'll go with. No, I have to go back to my original.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing else seems that cool.
No, I mean that one seems really.
And to be real, Fernando, his example of haunted Jungle Cruise was like.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Think about that.
Haunted Disneyland Railroad.
Ooh, that wouldn't be bad.
That might be kind of fun.
That could be
there
fun.
are some dark tunnels in there. I mean, there's even one in the back before you get to Toontown Station.
Yeah.
Interesting. You could throw some characters out there. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. I don't know. Think about that. See, it's a haunted something. See, haunted goes a long way at Disneyland.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was good. That was opening question.
Yeah.
All right. And our next question we had was, I posted something on Instagram about what is your favorite What is your favorite drink? What is your favorite snack? What is your favorite entree? And what is your favorite dessert at Disneyland? Now, some people answered correctly. I was gonna say. Let's see here. Some of the answers were Jacob said Dole Whip. What I was getting at is I want one of each. Some people just answered one. Okay, but that's fine. We're going to go along with it. Yeah, Jacob said Dole Whip. Becky said Matterhorn macaroon. I've never had the Matterhorn macaroon. Have you, Udi?
I have not.
Okay. Walt Izzy said, does Willie's Churro count? If not, I got to go with the classic Dole Whip. There's two. My mom got it right. She said Plaza Chicken, Funnel Cake, Mint Julep, and Dole Whip. There you go. So she answered all four. Yes, I can say that she's had all four of those. I can verify that. A Popcorn Yeti said pickle popcorn. No, I don't know where that is. I don't know. Well, maybe he means pickle and a popcorn, like the giant pickle and then popcorn. We're going to go with that. And then let's see. Tar Helium said lemon soft serve at Adorable Snowman. Yes. Margarita at Rita's. Street tacos at Ranchos. Have you had the street tacos there?
I have not.
Okay. And then Main Street Mouseketeer said Paradise Soda, Pair of Dice Soda. I don't even know where that is or what that is. So you got me stumped there. Corn Dog, Monte Cristo, and Matterhorn macaroon. Okay, solid answers. Solid answers. My favorite drink is going to be this is at Disneyland proper, I guess, because we could do one for DCA, but I'm going to stick with
correct. Yeah,
I'm going to stick with Disneyland here. Favorite drink is going to be the mint julep. Favorite entree is going to be. There's that steak sandwich at French Market that I just loved. I think that was great. But wait a minute, something at Carnation Cafe also was really, really, really good. Oh my gosh, one of the hamburgers there. I'm gonna go with one of the hamburgers there because I don't like fried chicken so much. I know people love that, so I'm gonna go with the hamburger at Carnation Cafe. That's my entree. My favorite snack. And I don't usually get a lot of snacks at Disneyland. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna probably say. Oh, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say the cream cheese filled pretzel. I thought that was fabulous.
Really?
I know Jess likes that too, and that was a game changer for me. No pun intended. And dessert's got to be the milk almond fudge ice cream at Gibson Grill right there. Solid 4 for me. Although I forget the hamburger portion at Carnation. I forget what it's called. Udi, I can probably guess one of the answers for you.
I don't know if I have a favorite drink. I guess you could say I've got two.
Okay.
One would be, like you, the mint julep. Very good, very refreshing. Even though Jess likes to go off about something about mint and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Whatever nonsensical nonsense she says. The other would be the jet juice or the Jedi juice. Is it jet juice? Yeah.
Okay.
One of the drinks at Oga's. Very good.
Is it jet fuel or?
I want it. Now I want to look.
Let's go look it up. Okay. So that's one of the two drinks. I could guess your entree. It's pretty
that
easy.
would be the anything fish from Blue Bayou.
Perfect. Yes.
No, my entree. I think I've repeated it ad nauseum.
Yes.
But I will say it one more time. Enchiladas, Rancho del Zocalo.
Yes, enchiladas.
There is none higher.
Are those cheese or are they beef or what
cheese.
Are they? Okay.
Now I'm looking for.
Do you get full from those or could you eat more? They give you 2, right?
3.
3. I didn't know there was 3.
3?
Okay,
Two. No. Correction. 2. No, they're good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I won't go like I walk out like roll out of there like, oh my god. But no,
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I'm trying to find the bring up the. No. Not you. No. There we go. The menu, and it would be. Bo? Hmm? The heck? Jet juice.
Jet juice. Okay.
Yeah. Which, for anybody who knows, it's made out of the base is bourbon.
Okay, I have never seen it or
There you
heard of
go.
it. All right. Okay. So you got your drinks.
Yep.
So we need a snack and a dessert. It's part of the game. I know. It's part of the game. You must play.
I don't. I'm going to qualify, or I'm going to categorize a Dole Whip as a snack.
It does, because that's what it is.
Well, Dole Whip and or it's lemon. Those are like right on par with each
yeah,
other.
but it's lemon is a DCA.
Okay. So we'll go back to Dole Whip. And then for dessert would be ice cream out of what you call it, Gibson.
Yep.
Whatever I walk in and go like, I want that one.
Oh, yeah, you can't really get it wrong.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they make. I mean, they have usually a very good assortment. So anything out of there for a dessert would be that. I'll go there. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are mine.
Solid answers. Now, we did have some pro tips for New Orleans Square. I did not get as many as I liked. So I might pose the question again because I can. So I can go ahead and read the ones we have, and hopefully I'm going to ask again to see who do that. So the question was, what are your pro tips for New Orleans Square? First, Prime Alpha says, be sure to explore all of the Mark Twain and the sailing ship Columbia. Lots of fun little history points that easily get missed. And then he said, unless you just want the ambiance, skip Blue Bayou and hit up Cafe Orleans instead. Much of the same menu, but slightly cheaper and typically easier to get into without reservations. Those are actually some very, very good points that he brings up. People do often miss out on the sailing ship Columbia and the Mark Twain. And I would not overlook either of those two. I would absolutely go on them and check them out. He's right. It's a great way to see the park. It's a great way to look at. And the sailing ship Columbia has a lower. Does he bring that up? No, he doesn't bring it up. But the sailing ship Columbia has a lower level like museum in it. It's a sailing museum.
Oh yeah,
it's great. And the Mark Twain is just a great way to look at the rivers of America, especially. I mean, any time of the day. But if you can get an evening ride, even before Fantasmic, it's incredible.
oh yeah.
And then again, New Orleans Square. Yeah, in Cafe Orleans instead of Blue Bayou. He's right. It's a little bit cheaper and easier to get reservations for. But as you said, if you want to skip the ambiance, go to Cafe Orleans. I agree. I can tell you, I've never, honestly, full disclosure, I've never eaten at Cafe Orleans, but I've seen the menu many, many times. I've walked by it. There's other things that we choose to do other than Cafe Orleans, but he's absolutely right. Okay, Eric Chu says, pre-order those beignets on the Disneyland app early at the Mint Julep bar so you don't have to wait in a really long line. Also, the bathroom hidden behind the bar is usually less crowded. Yes, he is correct on that on both accounts. And look at Eric coming in with some. He's a relatively new guy to Disneyland, and he's coming up
a little bit.
But he's coming with some solid points. Yes, pre-order those beignets, do it, and then get your mint julep. And the bathroom behind the train by the train station is people don't go over there too much. A very good answer. Feral Disney Cat said you can get the Monte Cristo gluten-free, but you need to order it ahead of time just to be sure they are stocked up. Also, I just love the pirate shop. Pieces of 8. Yes. We don't talk about that, but we will now.
Yeah.
When you come off Pirates of the Caribbean, before you get to the main thoroughfare of New Orleans Square, just go right, and you'll hook into that Pieces of 8, and you can get your Pirates swag in there.
Correct.
And there's that little barrel of coins or jewels, whatever. You can stick your hands in there. I'm not sure if they're still doing that, but they've got that. And then just across the courtyard there, it anchors into that Haunted Mansion shop where they have a bunch of cool Haunted Mansion things. Yes. Okay, those are some very, very good tips. So what can we add to the New Orleans Square? I was going to say about the beignets and order those because people just don't. They just kind of wait in line, and we did that when you're not. Yeah, I've done that. I've waited in line and felt bad about that. What are any tips you have for New Orleans Square?
He covered it.
Okay.
He covered it. He really did with the beignet and then the bathroom.
Okay.
I mean, really, those are very good. A lot of people miss them.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was I going to say? You don't have to stay in New Orleans Square when you get your beignet or your mint julep, but if you do, there's some really cool spots, like right in between the French Market and the Haunted Mansion. There's that little area. I think it used to be called Magnolia Park. I don't think they refer to it as that anymore. But those of you who've been in Disneyland, been following the park for decades, know what I'm talking about. And there's a little fountain right there in the middle.
Yep.
And you can sit there and just have your mint julep and chill. And also, you're very close to the water's edge over there, Rivers of America, and you can hang out there. So yeah, those are some pro tips. I might ask for some more because I know there's some things I'm missing. The Pieces of 8 shop is classic. Oh, I would say if you're gonna do like a character tour, get that done. I've done that a few times with the girls. Right in New Orleans Square, they have some really, really good setups there. You can just do it, and it takes 20 minutes, and you can just sit there. And yeah, that's usually a good spot for that sort of thing. All right. So let's go on to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay. First news item right now. This is what's going on in the parks as we speak. Disneyland is in the process of improving the traffic flow in New Orleans Square. This is just as timely just before Phantasmic returns on May 28th. So what they're doing is there's scrims all along the Rivers of America on the building side of New Orleans Square. So we got Pirates of the Caribbean, we've got French Market, Cafe Orleans. All those things are kind of they're behind scrims, and what they're doing is I think that they are going to try to work on. When Fantastic returns, there's always that singular flow sort of thing, and I think they want to navigate guests around there a little bit better. And it's kind of a tiered system. It kind of goes up, and I think they're trying to lower some of those raised areas so that people don't trip at night and whatnot. But so they're doing that as we speak, and also Pirates of the Caribbean is shut down. It's been shut down since March 14th.
Yep.
And really, what they're doing, I don't think they're doing refurb. They might do some general maintenance of the attraction itself, but what they're really doing right now is, and in fact, what they've already done is taking out those 2 trees as you go under the bridge. For the Pirates of the Caribbean queue, you go in where the fountain is. There's a bridge. There's trees on either side that have lanterns, and they look spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
They're gone. So those trees have been pulled out because they were diseased, and they just could not be there anymore. Because when they're that way, it just causes trouble for guests in case, they're just rotted, and they can't take the chance of that. So they're gone. They are in the process now of... Well, last picture I saw, everything was torn up.
Yeah, it looked ugly.
It looked
ugly.
Yeah, but again, work in progress, and just let them do their thing. Don't gasp. Just go. Okay, you do your thing. It would almost be like if you were in the process of you just got a bike together. You're just starting to put it together.
Okay.
Someone walks by and goes, "Udi, this bike looks horrible."
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, "Yeah. Why don't you go away for a little bit and let me do my thing?" That's what's going on right now. So don't look too closely there. Just know that it's in good hands, and I think some artificial trees will probably be put up there in the future. Okay.
We will find out.
We will find out. Next news item is the single rider line opens for Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure at Disneyland California Adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Single rider line has been added to Web Slingers. And yeah, go ahead and do that if you want. You know, I don't know. They should have started with this in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was at a time where people were just kind of getting back into the park, and it's like the first real thing that they had new, and people just jammed into it, but it's not worth, in my opinion. We did it last month and waited about a half an hour, and that was about as maximum I'm going to wait for that attraction. That was fun. The girls liked it, but I asked afterwards, do you guys want to do this again? And they go, nah, I don't think we need to wait in line for that. Okay.
Yeah, when my nephews were like, it was fun. You want to go again? Nah. Even they were, I mean, they kind of went, yeah, but, or do you want to go do, something else? Like, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to
You got it.
We got to talk about Adventures Camp at some point. I know Jess has her thoughts about that place.
Yep.
And we'll see how that goes in the future. Going on right now, you see Extravaganza Easter Scavenger Hunt. Started on the 31st of March. And you can, for $10, you can pick up a game board. And I think that they have it. I'm not sure where they have. Oh, they're at select merchandise locations throughout the Disneyland Resort. There are 3 different game boards depending on where you decide to play. You can play one Disneyland Park, DCA, or Downtown Disney. So that'd be kind of cool for kids. They go around and they try to find out where the eggs are and mark them off, and then at the end you get like a special egg. I think that's kind of cool. I think and there's 6 eggs you can actually collect. So that's a full $60 right there if you want the egg collection, which I'm sure many people already have. If my daughters were younger, they would totally be into this sort of thing. Yeah. Udi's like, yawn, whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of cool they're doing that. All right. Now, next news item. The Main Street Electrical Parade merchandise and dining packages are coming soon to Disneyland. This is all the preemptive merchandise swag haul for the Main Street Electrical Parade, which starts in about 10 days. It's April 22nd. And so what we have, I didn't take a picture of everything, but you can. There's pictures of it. There's shirts. There's dresses. To me, there's there's pants and a shirt, and it looks to me kind of ridiculous. I didn't put a picture in the notes, but we do have a picture. There's a lounge fly pack, which actually. Oddly enough, my daughters do like this.
Right.
And if this were there last time, they would have gotten it. They've mentioned that. And then also today, it just they just noticed today that there's a new Pete Dragon popcorn bucket and a turtle's juice sipper or something. And
okay.
And both are, I think, limited quantities of 2 each. And they light up or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got that. Okay, so and also today they just announced, like I said, they just announced the popcorn bucket and the sipper. But food packages are going to be available for Main Street Electrical Parade at the Plaza Inn. I don't know what the prices are yet for that, but I think you get. Your choice of a meal, and then you get reserved seating for that sort of thing. And then they've never done that before for these parades. They've done it for Fantasmic, of course. So I'm thinking that's going to be the future of how they operate these things. Is you're going to go ahead and pay for some dining package. The electrical parade meal includes fried chicken, mac and cheese, cornbread in a Mickey shape, and a berry cheesecake. One of my daughters would like this. The other daughter wouldn't. Oh, wait a minute. $40 per adult and $25 per child. Actually, what does it come with? It comes with chicken, mac and cheese, cornbread, and a berry cheesecake, and probably a drink, I would imagine. That, for $40 plus a seat, that's actually a good deal.
Not bad.
Because if you go there, you're going to pay at least $30 for that meal.
Yep, and then you're going to... Yeah.
That's before the drink. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think
not bad, actually.
No, it isn't.
I mean, crazy for me to say, but yeah.
I can't see you doing this.
No, not for me, but
no.
I mean, overall, the deal ain't bad.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't bad. Like I said, one of my daughters would do it. The other daughter would not because she doesn't like fried chicken, so that would be interesting. I'm not sure how it would do that. And then we scroll down, and then it has the light up Turtles premium sipper and the light up Elliot. Sorry, did I say Pete Dragon?
Yeah.
Sorry, Elliot's Dragon premium bucket. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not into the popcorn buckets, but again, I showed this to my other daughter today, and she goes, "Yeah, I think I want that." I go, "Yeah, I think you would probably like that sort of thing." Here's a picture. So I'm scrolling through it now as I'm talking about it. I found them online. Here's the dress. Okay, I don't really care, but I mean, girls will dig it, I guess. Then the Electrical Parade T-shirt and leggings, not my speed. Okay, yeah. So we've got that merchandise for Main Street Electrical Parade, and they've also introduced a bunch of snacks for all the nighttime spectacular stuff. And when I say nighttime spectacular stuff, I'm talking about Main Street Electrical Parade. I'm talking about Fantasmic, and so Disneyland Forever Fireworks. So they've got special snacks now that you can get that are sort of themed around these things. And I'm not going to go into that tonight because it's just the list is exhaustive, and people don't want to hear us talk about nighttime snacks. Or do you? No, you don't. Okay. So, cool. I think it's cool that they're doing this stuff. I think it's clever that Disneyland is coming up with these things because it makes people want to... I mean, I can tell you right now, if we were going to go for this, my daughters would already have things picked out of what they want to try. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the gist of that. Okay, next news item. Again, the scrim has been brought back to Tarzan's Treehouse.
Weird.
Don't know what's going on with that. It was removed in February, and now it's back up around the scaffolding. So, yeah, half of the scaffolding is covered in green scrim, while half is covered in tan scrim. A bridge connecting the sections of the treehouse is visible between the scrims. Okay, so there's no word as to when that's going to be back, but it's, not something I totally care about, but you miss it when it's gone. You do miss it when it's gone. I mean, it is an eyesore, but it also helps get people off of that path right there because kids will go on there. Udi will go on there.
I will.
And I will too. I'll crouch around in there. Some of the best views of the park are up there. And it's just kind of cool. Okay, so that is really the news for the show. 101 is dark tonight. And with that, let's go over to talk about what we came to talk about in the feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Okay, the feature presentation. Tonight we're talking about the current state. Just going to give our general thoughts of what's going on with Disney as a company in the political climate of things, and our thoughts and views on that. And, we talked about this a little in the pre-show. We're not going to take sides of what you think is right or wrong. That's not the point of the podcast, to get down that path. But it does talk about Disney and what's going on with them. Okay, so, Udi, want to have some thoughts real quick? Or whatever, not real quick, whatever.
Well, I will go back to when all of what is going on began. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember we both gave, kind of a little bit of a tip of the cap to Bob Chapek because we're like, okay, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to put the company into a political quagmire.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of both agree that, for not only for Disney, but we feel like a lot of corporations just need not to enter into that realm.
Mm-hmm.
We agreed. Like, if you want the best way to support anything that you are, you want to advance and support, would be, especially in this realm, would be what Bob Chapek said. We're going to create content. We're going to make things that can bring people in. Which at the heart of of what Disney was always about was entertaining people, educating people. So when you look at it, it was like, okay, if you agree with what the controversy is over, if you agree with that sentiment, then you're like, okay, well, that would be the best way. Okay? What you don't want to do is then basically do what they've done. What you don't want to do, in my opinion, is you do not want to go one way or the other. You're much more in this avenue, in this arena, to be down the middle. Not really siding with either side. Therefore, you can, as a corporation, pull from both people. Because when you go in a certain direction, you're bound to alienate a good chunk of people. So when we first initially got the reports that Bob Chapek said, look, what we're going to do is we're going to support that community, the LGBTQAI plus community, with content. And I'm like, okay, fair. Then you put it into the arena of the parent, of the actual consumer. Knowing that is what is in there, do I want to watch that? If the answer is no, okay, no. If the answer is yes, then enjoy.
Yes.
Perfectly okay with what as you and I both live in, very much a live and let live. Hey, I don't have to agree with everything. No. You and I don't agree with everything.
Nope.
We've had disagreements often.
Yep.
But we both find things that we find commonality. And that's the one thing that I guess I'm disappointed, because one thing that we've often talked about is what Disney represents. It represents a point of connection.
Yeah.
A point where no matter what you fall into in a political realm, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It becomes an area where I don't care who you voted for. I don't care if you call yourself, whatever, how you identify, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who you love, who you pray to, when you go to church, or if you don't go to church. All of the things that can drive people apart. What color you are, what race you are,
right.
Where you were born, what language you speak, what culture is your culture. All of those things are negated at the gate.
They are, yep.
They're negated at the gate to such an extent that we don't care.
Yeah.
You will see anywhere from kids to 90-year-old people with ears on their heads.
Yep.
And you could walk up to them and say, how you doing? And they could not understand a word you're saying, and they'd be smiling. So Disneyland, to me, has always and will forever represent that.
Right.
So that's where I sit. Like, agree or disagree with what is going on in it. For anybody who doesn't know, which if you don't know, it has to do with the parental right bill in Florida.
Yes. Now, Udi did send us the link, or he didn't send us the link, but he said you should read it. And so I did. It was, I think, 6.5 pages in a PDF, closer to 7.
Yeah.
And I did read it. In fact, I read it twice, or maybe 1.5 times.
Yep.
There's some stuff that didn't make sense.
Yeah, legalese behind. You're like, okay, what does that mean?
But I saw the gist of it, and the label. I'm not even going to go on what the big label was. I don't even know where they got that from.
I don't either.
They could have said, and they could have said a myriad of things.
Oh yeah.
And I go, what in the world are you dividing people based upon your ridiculous phrase that you've concocted into here? And so people get all fired up. But I had a couple thoughts about all this anyways. And so I did wonder why, like Comcast, which owns Universal, Paramount, why aren't these guys getting involved or having their opinions?
Yep.
Then it occurred to me, I was thinking about something about Disneyland and Disney as a company, and then recalling some stuff. When I was in college, did a lot of English classes and literature classes, and I had to write a little bit about Nietzsche. We had to do some stuff on him, and he had a classic book. He's got a couple classic books, but I think the Zarathustra books, the book. I don't think there's a series. There's a passage in about a mountain. You know, you want to climb the top of the mountain. And I'm paraphrasing this, so listeners, don't quote me on this, but it was just you can strive to be the top of the mountain. That's great, but really all you're going to get at the top of the mountain is lightning. And it occurred to me that, you know, Disney pretty much is the top of the mountain here. Yep. And they're getting a lot of lightning from whomever. There is a lot of people that probably want to see Disney fail. And they bait them into these conversations. Mm-hmm. They bait them into these debates. They bait them into, you need to make a stand either way. Yeah. Like Chapek was like, this is not what we're doing. And then the shareholders are like, well, you need to say something, or the fans say something. It's funny because if you want to buy Disney stock right now, would be a good time to buy it. It's down. Mm-hmm. But I think that he caved in because people were telling him you need to say something, and to me, I'm gonna call horse bleep on that. Mm-hmm. You don't need I feel as if you should just be politically neutral on all this stuff, right?
Oh no, I agree completely.
So you agree that if you're on top of the mountain, you're gonna get a lot of.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I mean, you can pull that from anywhere, right? You can pull any kind of. I mean, how many times have I watched, or we all have watched a championship team of any sport. Okay. Baseball, football, hockey, whatever.
Sure.
And when you go into the next season, everyone is gearing up because they want to knock them off.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
Now, we all recognize, as fans of Disney and fans of the park, how huge of a multinational corporation Disney has become. Massive. The king of the mountain. Hands down.
Yep.
I don't even think you can honestly argue that.
Right.
No one. You look at all the properties they own, all the IPs they own, all the land they own, everything they own. I mean, across the globe. I dare you to find somebody in this entertainment space that's even close. Mm-hmm. They're not there. So yeah, there are going to be plenty of people, like you said, out there to do nothing but attack because they see the man on top of the hill and they go like, he's the one I want to bring down.
Yeah.
For no other reason to just do it. Mm-hmm. So you're right. I think in this issue specifically, I think they got baited and pulled in.
Yeah.
And Bob Chapek's initial knee-jerk or reaction to be like, hey, we need not enter into this quagmire was the right one.
Yeah.
By you basically staying away from it, you're not agreeing either way.
No, you're not.
Sadly, there are people out there that say, hey, if you're quiet, that means you agree.
Sure.
Or disagree. I'm like, well, no, it doesn't. It just means that I can use my own mind and my own thought process and go, you know what? That is a landmine.
It is.
A whole, a field of landmines I'm not even going to walk into because you cannot win.
Do you remember the classic movie War Game?
Yeah.
Sorry, War Game from 1982?
Yeah.
War Games?
War Games.
Yeah, War Games. When they let the computer play itself, it went through a simulation.
Was it Whopper?
Whopper was the drive that it tapped into. I think they what did they call it?
I don't remember.
Joshua. Right?
Okay, yeah. Maybe.
I don't know why I'm thinking about that.
Yep.
But the end conclusion was the only way to win the game
was not to play.
Yeah. It just because at the end they did a simulation where it just went and blew everything up.
Yep.
It's time after time after time it
over
lost.
and over and over. Yeah.
And I said the only way to win the game is not to play.
Not to play.
And to me, I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to play. Again, Universal, they put out Comcast owns a lot of content.
Yeah.
They put stuff out.
Yeah.
They're not saying anything.
No.
Again, Paramount, I think they still have some theme parks. I'm guessing they don't.
I don't know.
Well, they did, but they still do content. They're not saying anything. Nope. So you just, I don't know. You've got to be, but didn't. Okay, I'm confused because I'm hearing that Bob Iger is not entirely out of the picture. Heard that he's kind of in the background doing stuff.
There are rumors abounding about that. There
Yeah.
are rumors that he is 100% out now, and then there's that rumor.
Yeah.
So who are you going to believe?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Wasn't Disney saying they're going to start creating some more content?
Yeah.
That was more towards what? More towards
More LGBTQIA plus content.
Did you think they were going to do that before any of this controversy? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I really don't. I mean, okay, I really don't believe that content, or how can I put this? I really don't believe that, and I've said it a million times before. When you emphasize that, you can run away, or you can pull yourself away from telling a good story or introducing a character in a great way. I think that is one of the biggest things that, again, giving Chapek his, props at the beginning, because he realized, I think, look, if we really want to do this correctly, if we want to affect culture, whether, again, you agree, disagree, doesn't matter. If you want to affect the culture, then make it part of your stories. You don't have to be over the top and overt.
Right.
How many times have you and I had discussions both on mic and off mic about how a character is a great character because and whether they are straight, man, woman, gay, whatever, doesn't even apply.
No.
Because we're looking at the characteristics of that character, that what makes that character great. Those other things are superficial. They're outward things, okay? They're not what we're looking at. So I can look at a character, and it can identify as ever, however, and if the character is good, I'm like, great character. Don't care.
Don't
like,
care.
Okay. Well, it's a woman. Okay, cool.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, it's a dude. Okay, cool. Or that's a gay character. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again, because I think the vast majority of people these days don't really care. They want good content. They want to be pulled in. They don't want to get preached at.
Sure.
They want to get pulled in. They want to be told a good story. Now, again, this is where it falls into. If you do not want to consume that content, if you think, hey, I don't want my kids or whoever, I don't want to deal with LGBTQ things, then okay, you don't have to consume that. That is your choice. And the same thing goes the other way. If you are in that community and you don't want to consume that, okay, then you don't do that.
Right.
So that's why I think Disney, again, for their own good, they need to pull themselves out of this dive, because I think they're diving. I think with them dropping into this, they have now opened themselves up to more scrutiny, more eyes, more attacks. Because the attacks that they were getting weren't big. They were loud.
Yeah.
But they weren't big.
No, they're not big.
No, they're loud. It was like a chihuahua barking.
Yeah.
Like a big bark, really loud noise, but the overall danger of it, I think, was very minor.
Yeah.
You're going to have people upset, but the vast majority of people were not.
Right.
Now you go, and then you're going to flip the coin. Now that the fact that they made that turn, and they're doing, feels like they're doing everything in that direction. Now you're going to pull away and go like, okay, well, the vast majority of people over here are going to be like, dude, why? I think, I could be wrong, but I think the vast majority of the people who are fans of Disney and the park sit here like us, like, oh, why?
Why? Oh, why? Okay, so do you think, does any of this affect your park experience?
No.
Okay.
No, okay, here are the only things, and let me point this out.
Okay.
The one thing that I don't like, and I will always go here because it is tradition. We need to hold on to tradition. A lot of people, for whatever reason, maybe they don't understand tradition, or they haven't been shown certain things, whatever. My upbringing was filled with tradition. I have created new traditions as in my own life with other people Perfect example. A really good friend of mine, she looked at me and said, "New tradition." I'm like, "Okay, what's that?" "Every year, this time, no matter where we are on the planet, we're together." "Okay, done. New tradition started." The reason why that's important is because a reason why the park exists is because it gives us a point of togetherness. So when you look back at traditions, people will look at traditions and go like, "That's stupid," or they maybe don't get it. So a basic thing like, "Welcome, boys and girls."
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you remove that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Right.
tonight's show of whatever.
Correct.
Nighttime Spectacular.
Why would you remove that? Because the vast majority of people, I don't have a number. I can't give you a number. I'd only be guessing. But the vast majority of people don't have a problem with that. They can probably identify at that level. So for you to remove that, and again, because at the end of the day, again, the vast majority of people will be like, "Okay, cool." They don't see that as an issue. So, and it is also tradition because these are all things that are done to bond us. We can look back, and here's the big point with tradition and why the park is so important and why the traditions at the park that we hold and in the park hold are so important. Because when you have a tradition, it is a window to the past.
Yes.
Some people
Yes.
will argue, well, we need to forget the past. And I always, and no matter what we're talking about, when they look at the past and go like, we need to get rid of the past, I look at you like you recognize you are doomed to repeat it. By forgetting where you came from, you can never fully appreciate where you're going, how far you've come. That goes for anything. So when we look at the park, we look at how everything began, and we talk about it all the time, and we look at it with a high level of reverence and honor and understanding about everything that Walt went through to create that. Everything that he had to pull together, all the battle, all the fight, back and forth. And for all of you who are listening, I think a lot of you have a good understanding of his history.
Yep.
You cannot negate that because you don't like a portion of it. Okay? Nobody's perfect.
No.
But when you can look at the full picture and actually look at it and recognize the benefit of everything, that is the beauty of it. The beauty of the humanity, the beauty of everybody being a human being and being able to grow and learn and to come together with people. That is the beauty of the park. That is the beauty of what Walt Disney created. So when I see Chapek making this, and I think there's a part of him that is thinking, okay, I want to make sure that these people are included. Okay. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with wanting to make sure that everybody is included. But you don't do it in a way that you exclude other people.
Right.
So by him, and again, what I'm talking about here applies to, in my opinion, to every corporation out there. If you really want to be the pinnacle or service your customer, and you want to get a broad, and you really want to just connect people, these issues, it's not that they're not important. These are issues that you don't need to pinpoint on.
Right.
You know, because sadly, and this plays into it, I think a lot of the huge corporations now, all they do is pander. They don't really mean it.
No, of course.
They do that because they're like, okay, well, we need to show our whatever. Okay, well, how's that going to, well, it makes us look good. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
You pull a CEO in the corner, it's like, do you really support that? I don't know, man. It's going to make me money. And again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but understanding that people will take these issues that are really emotional, really important to people, and they'll use it. They'll use it. So that is the other aspect of that I feel kind of disappointed in. It's like, don't follow the pandering the pandering. Just don't. Like, you don't need to do that. Any corporation, especially Disney, does not need to follow this path.
No.
Create your content. Create your stories. Concentrate on good characters. Concentrate on good IP. Concentrate on a good park experience. You concentrate on everything. And you make that as open as you can. The people will come in. And again, I'll say it again, over and over and over again. We go to Disneyland to be with people, and we do not care about anything else. Period.
Right.
When we go to the park, we talk to people in line.
We do.
Do we go like, hey, I wonder who you voted for? No, don't care.
Don't care.
Hey, is that your boyfriend, girlfriend? How do you identify? Don't care.
Don't care.
Doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. Like, hey, you're cool. Hey, what about this attraction? Hey, did you know? Hey, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh. Right.
That is what we're there for. Hey, how's the park? What have you been on? What do you want to go ride?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go eat? All the things that we talk about day in and day out in show after show after show after show. And we sit there, and when we go there, that is our Mecca. That is our heaven. That is our paradise, our church, our sanctuary. And when corporations and Bob Chapek does this and Disney does this, it begins to erode those inroads that we've all made there at that park. We've made inroads of togetherness there that I don't think people can fully understand. And I think people like you and me and our listeners, we all get it. We all get that Disneyland is for everybody. Without ever having to say it.
Right. Yep. You don't have to say
Whatever having to go like, hey, I'm going to put this sticker over here. I'm going to put this poster over here. I'm going to make this t-shirt. I'm going to make... None of that ever needs to have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all get it. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't agree with Bob. I don't agree with Disneyland. I don't agree with them catering to this one section. They've gone too far because when you... Again, I read the bill. I encourage you to read the bill.
I did.
And you look at it, when you read it, don't go on what you heard over here or what they're calling it or anything.
Yeah, don't read it with a preconceived notion. Just read it with an open mind, thinking, okay, what is being presented here?
Yeah, listen to what people are screaming about.
Yeah.
And then go read it. And then you decide.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to agree with the screaming people, okay. Okay. That's your prerogative.
Sure.
Free country.
But how they came to that conclusion is baffling to me.
I don't know either.
I just don't get it.
You know, because that became, as Disney's been getting pulled in, and more's coming out. More's coming out. Now in my feeds are coming across. People are now like digging into Disney. Like Disney, what you've done is you have given yourself, because I don't know why, because you should have just avoided the whole thing.
Right.
You walked into the landmines.
Mm-hmm.
And we warned you, don't. The vast majority of people would not have thought any different from you.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, okay, good. Like I said, we gave them props. Like, good. Stay out of it. Create your content. Create those things and let the people decide what they're going to consume. Let the people watch what they're going to watch, or listen to what they're going to go, or listen to what they want to listen to, or go where they want to go. Mm-hmm. Create it there, put it there, and go like, hey, build it, they will come.
Yep.
And leave it be, and let your actions and what you produce be your voice. Mm-hmm. Don't start barking like we're going to go defeat this bill and we got to... Why?
Yeah.
Why? Go. I mean, if you really... Why would a corporation begin that fight? If it's not directly affecting their bottom line, it's not.
Right. It isn't. But in Florida, they need to be pretty careful with what they're doing out there, because there's that Reedy Creek Act from you saw that from 1967.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just gonna say it from 10,000 feet is that when Disney Corporation went out to Florida, said we're gonna build this. This was 67. The park opened in I think 71.
Yep.
72.
72. 72.
72.
They're coming around 50, right?
Yeah, the 50. Yeah, so the state said we're not going to pay for any of this stuff, but they let Disney pay for all the infrastructure, and they get as that they get like special benefits
Yeah.
from the state.
Yep.
And I think Florida's kind of going, you know what, that thing can get revoked.
Yeah.
And that would be incredibly expensive for them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think they get they basically run that area,
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
And I think there's special tax exempt things they get, and they can go, you know what? But I hope it doesn't come to that.
No.
I think they just bring that up and say, hey, we have this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to hold over the head, but it's like, again, what you're saying, Disney just needs to just get out of the game.
Yeah.
Create your content, create park experiences, and
Yeah.
just be done with this.
Do what you do well. Again, by you not entering into the fray,
Yeah.
again, the vast majority of the people will be like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
We get it.
Yeah, and again, by you creating, everything can be done. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create it. Make it. You have that power. You have people on this planet that want to make that content.
Yep.
Let them make it. Support them that way. If you want to support, the LGBT community, then okay. Hire them on, bring them on, let them tell the stories, let them, make whatever they want to make, go for it. Like, for me, more knowledge is power. So when I don't know about certain things, I'm like, what's going on there? What do? I go look. That's what I did with all of this. I'm hearing all this and that, but I'm like, what is going on here?
Right.
Like, well, okay, let me go to the heart of the whole matter. I will read verbatim what they're talking about. And I read it, I'm like, okay, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And it isn't from a thing of me going, I'm dumb. No, it just, I see what is being yelled, and I'm like, but none of that is in here.
None of that's in there.
You read it, and I'm like, okay, I get that. I understand that. And I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, well, whatever. The thing is, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Except I think they bait Disney into an argument.
Yeah.
To cause trouble.
Yeah.
And then again, to Disney, this is like they're taking it as a serious thing, but it's the people that are actually complaining about it. I think they just like to complain.
Yeah.
And as soon as they win, they're gonna move on to the next thing, right?
Well,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
there's no happiness at the end of this. And
and that is why I keep on, again, what I'm talking about here doesn't just necessarily apply to Disneyland. We're talking about anybody. Anybody. Again, whatever support you want to give to any community, just do it.
Right.
Just do it. No, again, the vast majority of people are just going to go, okay.
Right.
Okay. I mean, again, you, me, how many people that we know we legit don't care. Like, it is not a pressing issue. Like, well, we're going to make that content. Okay. We may go like, not for me, or we may be critical of if it's good or not. We will definitely do that. But are we going to sit here and go like, oh my God? No, we don't care.
We don't really care.
We really don't care.
Yeah.
We really do not go into that realm of like, oh my God, what have they done? The world is over. We do that, but when they want to alter an attraction,
sure, or move a park bench,
then we lose our mind.
We lose our minds.
But then when they go, hey, we want to recreate this, we kind of go like, okay, well, I'm not going to watch it. Not my thing. But hey,
no.
Whoever, like, I will go off on Encanto all day long. I love it. And I'm like, I can't make it through it. People go like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can't make it through it.
I haven't even seen it. I saw that We Don't Talk About Bruno for some reason because it's playing at, it's on a projection map over It's a Small World.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what the song is. So I looked it up. And within like the first measure, I go, well, this has got to be that Lin-Manuel.
Yeah.
And I go, this has got to be him because this is his style to me. So
it is. You can tell now. Lin-Manuel. Yeah. I got sent that story, and then my response was, "Oh, perfect! 2 things that I don't like together.
What's that?
Even more Encanto and Small World." I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay. I just started laughing. I'm like, two things that I don't like together, even more reason to avoid all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like his music. I mean, I love Hamilton. But I mean, I can tell his style pretty quick now. Why is that being promoted over there? What's the tie-in?
No idea.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get it either.
But again, there are people out there who are all about it. They're going to be all about it. I'm like, okay, like that's kind of what we're talking about here. For you and me, we're like, meh.
But what does that do with it's a small world?
But there are people who are going to be like, I love Small World and I love Encanto. Put them together. Okay, I don't get it, but hey, if you like it, off you go.
Well, I mean, I love the 49ers. I don't want them projecting them over its small world. No, I'd be like, what is this about?
You want them on the mountain, on Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
want 49er guys in the attraction.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean sponsored by the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like
sure.
It, yeah.
I mean, why? What is it?
But
I don't get it.
But again, like what I'm saying. Okay, put them together, mash them up.
Yeah.
Some people will find that to be fantastic and amazing. Okay, go enjoy.
Sure.
I am not going to be the one who's going to sit here and be like, "You're dumb for liking it." Well, only Jess, but.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm like, okay, I don't agree.
Oh, she likes Encanto?
No, she loves Encanto.
Oh, I'm sorry, Encanto.
I
said it totally.
You said it all, white boy.
Yeah. Ooh, can't say that.
Well.
Okay.
But again, everything that has now been going on for what are we at? 3 weeks now?
Is it? Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, man. But again, it becomes a thing of like we don't need any of it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. As a lover of the park, we don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
As a just a general human being in this country, we don't need it. We don't need further things to get angry about. We don't need further things to be divided upon. We don't need it. And I say it all the time. And again, this is why I get irritated to a level. Is like Disney, don't do this. Do not go into something that is divisive. Do not do it. Don't do it. We're here to be together.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to find things we can grow together with. We're here to find things that we find joy and happiness together. Because if you're a bitter and angry person, then I feel bad for you. I do. I choose not to be that way. I choose to try to find the goodness in everybody. Yeah. And it is difficult for me. Anybody who knows me knows that I can be a bit of a jerk.
Yeah,
I was gonna use a stronger word, but PG. I can be not a nice guy. I can be a little bit gruff, a little bit hard to...
Abrasive sometimes.
Abrasive, and a little bit hard to talk to sometimes,
mm-hmm.
and I get that. But at the end of the day, I don't want people to fail. I don't want people to be angry. I don't want people to be sad. I don't want people to be mad at each other. I don't want people to be divided. I want people to be together. I want people to be happy. I want people to be growing within themselves mm-hmm. and find the things that are good in life and to find their own joy and their own happiness. I have been on my own path for that for a long time.
Yeah.
And again, bringing it back to the park, this is what the park is. This is what Disneyland should be. This is what the Disney Corporation should be. Should be points of connection.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness. Unity. Not division, anger, animosity. Which is, I fear, the path that they have now been put on. Mm-hmm. By themselves. By their own actions, they are now putting themselves on a path and inserted themselves into a topic that is highly volatile, highly divisive, and no one's going to win.
No one's going to win.
Nobody.
Nope.
No one's going to win. And so my whole thing, and we've said it already, but I'll just repeat it one more time. Disney, put yourself out of the dive. Just don't play the game.
Right.
Don't play the game. Pull out of the situation. Bob, you said you're going to do what you can to support the LGBTQAI plus community. Then do that. Create that content.
Yeah.
Let the people who you're making that for enjoy that content. If people don't want to see that content, they don't have to. You don't got to get mad at them. Just go, okay, not for me.
Yeah. Interesting.
We move on.
Mm-hmm.
We move on.
We move on.
But if you do, here it is. Here it is. Go, and I hope you like it.
Right.
And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get meaning and, happiness out of that.
Yeah.
And if you don't, and you're going to be a hater on it, then you have your own set of problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I never get people who actively go and hate on other things. Either end of the spectrum, because it happens on the air, quoting left and right. They go after just to hate on each other. I'm like, what are you doing? So that's why, Disney, just pull yourself out of the quack. Because I forgot to tell you this. I got a message from a friend of mine, big Disney fan. Mm-hmm. And he goes, hey, I've been meaning, she said, I've been meaning to text you about a sensitive topic. I'm like, okay.
Ooh.
What's up? What do you feel about, everything that's going on? And are you going to, she goes, I know you're a big Disney guy. Are you going to boycott the park? And I, in that moment, I kind of went, honestly, I hadn't really thought about that. And I go, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy because I think they made the wrong call. Mm-hmm. And that is where I left it. She's like, I'm not happy either. I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. Because again, a lot of people are going to be like, we don't need this. Anyway, so just to put a bow on it, that basically, we don't need it.
No, we don't. We don't need it.
We don't need it. We don't. Oh no, I've been talking for forever, Mark.
No, it's fine. No, I agree with a lot of stuff you're saying. I just want to add one more thing to it, and not to the political realm, but it's going to be political. But they just hired a new company spokesperson, and she used to be a like I think a writer for Obama, and you saw that. Mm-hmm. So you might think that Disney's going to swing left on their stuff because they had this person, but I can tell you that. Newsom is no fan of Disney.
No.
That guy completely screwed over the company.
Oh yeah.
With COVID.
Oh yeah.
And so, and he's as left as you can be. Mm-hmm. And so, when I saw that, I know that people were going to jump to the conclusions that Disney's going to go, well, now we're going to just be all left. And they shouldn't be either. No. But I can tell you that, like I said, Newsom didn't do well, not only Disney, but a lot of companies in California. He just kind of whatever. Yeah. That's as far as political as I'm going to get. But it's not, the end of the world that they have this spokesperson doing it. Hopefully things are fair and balanced. Yeah. And hopefully we can just, this should be blown over soon. I would hope so.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope. Again, we didn't talk about it. We've had, 2 opportunities, maybe?
Talk about this?
Yeah, because we've recorded probably a couple times, or feels like it. Mm-hmm. And we kind of, we stayed away from it because we're like, why? Why are we going to cover that? Because, I think we're thinking, it'll blow over here, and we'll go back to arguing about benches and things of that. But... It hasn't gone away. Yeah, it hasn't gone away.
No.
And we kind of got to a point like, look, we need to, at some form, I felt like we needed to address or just address the situation and kind of go like, here's our thoughts. And again, we're not siding on one or the other. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
I don't care really either.
I know my opinion, but I'm not going to sit here and go and...
You need to care, Udi. Okay.
Yeah, no. I read, like I said, I read it. I read the bill. My opinion was okay. I don't know.
It could have, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
My opinion is what it was. Like, it's okay. I mean, I don't disagree with it. And then I'm like, okay, and we move on. But, yeah. Yeah, so again, we just felt like we needed to kind of like address it and go like, hey, we don't want it. We don't want controversy. We don't need controversy. We don't need, a corporation, $1 billion corporation going, we're going to fight,
No, we don't need that.
We don't need any of that. That is something, and again, that applies to not just Disney.
Yes, right.
It applies to every corporation that is, unfortunately, I think, now taking upon these different movements or these different ideological factions, if I want to put it that way, and glommed onto them and go like, give me your money.
Yeah.
Which I guess you want to say is kind of savvy of them. But again, and for everybody out there who doesn't know how to feel about it, I would just, again, recommend if you really want to create a informed decision, go read it, go read the bill, and then you decide. But like I said, but whatever you do, make your own decision and don't chastise other people or rebuke them if they don't agree with you. Mm-hmm. Don't sit there and feel bad for your opinion either. I don't feel bad for my opinion.
I don't either.
Anybody who knows me knows that I will speak my mind.
Yep.
And you do with it as you will, as you can speak your mind to me.
Yes.
Because that's what we're doing right here. We're just speaking our mind like, hey, this is what it is. This is how we feel.
Okay.
And there we go.
There we go. We're going to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
And I will not ever talk to you about Bruno, Udi. Okay.
Who?
Okay. We'll end this show, but keep in mind, though, listeners, we have a contest coming up soon for Marcy's book, a signed copy of her book, which we have right over here. It's still in a envelope, and it'll go to a lucky listener or someone on Instagram or something. We have a plan. We have a.
Okay. Oh. We've been throwing it around for a while because we want to make it good, because that was very gracious of Marcy to always to talk to us. It's great.
Yes.
And we love her. And again, the epitome of why we love the park is people like her.
Yes.
And for her to give us this to give away to our listener, we want to I kind of want to make people earn that. Yes,
we do. Yes, I agree.
And again, for everybody who's listened to our multiple interviews with her or got the opportunity to hang out with her at any point, or you know who she is, or hopefully we all go to stage 9. It is a cool thing, and it is a wonderful thing, and it is a special thing to be able to give this out. So we want to make it a little bit difficult. We want to make it kind of cool, and so give us a little bit. We have a couple ideas that we've kind of tossed around. We haven't really finalized one yet.
No.
We're trying to I'm the guy who's like, we need to hybrid them. Like, can we get that one? That's a really cool idea, and put that one and kind of put them together and Frankenstein them into.
Yeah, if you do all the work for it, you can go ahead and do that.
I know, and then I get lazy and I'm like, I gotta go to work at 5 a.m. and
yeah, okay. Well, something is coming up. Just so stay tuned for that, and we'll do it on Instagram or on the show or something or both. Okay, so that's going to wrap up episode number 151. Episode 152, I think we're going to have an interview.
We're working on that. We have
an on-site interview, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm going on a trip, and I may be able to, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
You'll hear it as soon as we're done with it. So we've got that coming up. And then I think we have another interview. We do have another interview coming up.
Right.
Some talented people.
Yeah.
Are going to be on the show. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple of people that are very talented, and we're going to have them on the show.
Yes, we are, for sure.
Yep.
If you'd like to support the show, you
can I give a hint real quick? If for everybody who was on our live, our next interview that I'm thinking about has something to do that we talked about on our live.
Oh, yes, it does.
For everybody who's on there, I'll let you guys figure it out.
It's not about Bruno.
No. Who?
You're right.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah. So for everybody, like feel free to DM me or Mark and give us your guess.
Yes. Okay. I was going to say, see, if you'd like to support the show, you can go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon link, and do it with a $1, $3, or $5. That's a great way to support the show. Also, if you want to buy a shirt, it's on the same site, leavingtodaypodcast.com. Also, Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast. We have a link tree on there with all of our merchandise on there as well, with Patreon shirts and other things, I suppose. I don't know what's on there. So there's all of that. If you want to contact the show, you can send me an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Reminds me, someone did do that, and we got to respond to him. We'll get to that. So, Udi, where can you be found?
You can find me on my other podcast show, The Mando Show. That is a podcast and review of Disney Star Wars The Mandalorian. For everybody who knows, we've not had an episode of Mandalorian in a while. So what we have been talking about, our last episode was a very cool little episode. We talked about Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
A little bit of a history and where they came from and kind of how they came up and why we enjoy them and why we appreciate them. So we're kind of doing what we're calling our directors series, because we're talking about directors of the Mandalorian shows and basically giving history and what we enjoy about them. We're waiting for that because Obi-Wan will be dropping soon.
You guys are going to be covering that, I assume.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And now that I'm not going to Celebration, I got more time.
You have more time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can find me. So that is the Mando Show, and then you can find me on my Instagram, which is HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. That would be my predominant and pretty much my only social media. I don't Facebook, even though I'm getting pressured pretty hard to do that, but I'm not. And then, as I love to say, Twitter is a dumpster fire.
Twitter, as we know it today,
is a dumpster fire.
Yes.
Elon, do it.
Well, we'll see what happens there. Okay. Again, listeners, thank you so much for taking the time to all those who joined us in the pre-show. Love that stuff. I want to do more of that. Absolutely want to do more of that. Thank you so much for tuning in today, this evening, or whenever, this morning. Hopefully we've made you think. Hopefully we've made you laugh. That's the whole point of all this stuff, because ultimately we love going to the parks and connecting and, complaining about churros, yet buying them anyways, and all that kind of stuff. All great stuff. So thanks again for doing tonight's show with us, and hope you guys have a great week. We love you, adventurers out there, and we will see you in the parks.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now ended its normal operating day. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
A new world order, Udi. A new world order.
Don't get me going.
Okay.
No, I will give you one.
Not that one. Pick a different one. God, you're so slow.
Wow, these are smaller than I thought.
That's what she said.
No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
You're funny. Ow, that hurt. Don't make me smile like that. Ow.
I feel very earthy.
Right? On the floor. It's nice. I like it.
Kitty. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face